Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Artist Talk at Gallery Chimera. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Olivia Franklin, the incredible artist behind the thought-provoking collection In Their Shoes. And this collection is still life paintings, and it explores the intimate connection between shoes and the lives of those who wear them. Every crease, scuff, and stain tells a story, giving us a glimpse into identity, history, and experience through an object we often take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we should first start with, I want to know more about your mother's drawing of your grandfather's army boots and like the inspiration for this collection as a whole. And like, can you share more about like what that piece meant to you and your artistic background?
Sure, yeah. So my mom has always been my inspiration. Even when I was a little girl, I wanted to be like her. And so the boot was hanging in her bedroom my whole life. And I just remember looking at it and feeling like I had a connection to her and my grandfather because I never knew him. And he passed away when I was 5. So that was like my window into that. And my mom drew that boot when she went to college. And it was for like a final assignment or something. But I always wanted my mom to continue her art. And she instead sacrificed her time for her kids because she had 4. So yeah, that was just hard for her to get to. But that shoe was very special to me because she did it. And she was always so inspiring to me.
So when was the first time, when was like the first shoe that you drew for this collection?
I drew David first, and I did that about 4 years ago. And it took me 6 months just to do that one painting. And I had to like figure out my process, and I had to realize I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, what I wanted to paint too. And so that one was just fun as a gift for my husband. And I, of course, love giving gifts. But so yeah, now we will always have that painting. He will never let me sell it. But definitely the best beginning piece to the whole thing. And then I did My Boots, another painting that is not here. I thought it was going to be here, but it was sold. And yay. But then I just went from there, and people kept telling me, like friends and family and stuff like that, you really need to start painting your shoes. You really need to get more shoes. And so I was just like, okay, maybe I should listen. And I randomly walked up to somebody that had a cool pair of shoes at the library and was like, hey, I want to paint your shoes. I'm an artist. I promise I'm not a weirdo. And so she took off her shoes and I took a picture of them and we got connected and now we're friends, and it's pretty cool experience because of it.
That kind of leads me to my next question is like, how do you approach like photographing shoes to capture the story behind them? Is there a certain angle or lighting? And then like how many strangers do you approach, or is it all friends?
So I don't really know how many, I don't have a count of how many people I've approached. But it's probably been about 5. And when I first did it, I didn't really have a method. Now I have more of like questions to ask people. I normally just take a picture of their shoes. Then later I'll get in contact with them through text message or phone call and ask them more in-depth questions about their shoes and stuff like that. Or it's like an email or a message through Instagram or something, because people always share their socials with you. So it's just explaining, I promise I'm not a weirdo. And even the librarian was texting all the other librarians, okay, there's this girl asking for shoe pictures. Don't freak out if she comes up to you. She's not a weirdo. I was like, yeah, I'm not, I promise. I'm just a mom that likes shoes and just I want to tell your story. Yeah, I'm an artist. So really not anything. I just try to be real and try to get on other people's level And sometimes there's really cool stories. Like I've had this one lady say, oh, well, my husband loves to take a picture of his shoes before he throws them away because he likes to save them. And so he has a full wall of photographs of just his shoes that he took. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. Well, can I get a picture of your shoes? And then, yeah, it went from there. So
you like make connections through it.
Yeah. It's really cool. And I make friends, surprisingly. So, because typically I'm at the library. It's really the only place I go if I'm not at home, or the grocery store, because I have children. And so we always meet friends. And while we're there, I typically meet somebody else and just get to know them, or be like, hey, your kids should play with my kids. Hey, let's talk. And it's just really great.
So what do you hope the viewers take away from this whole collection? And like, are there any emotions or ideas you want them to connect with?
So I really want people, I guess, to see that we all go through things. We all are very much alike. We all experience trauma, happiness, just everything. And so I know in my family, we've had a lot of stuff happen, particularly with my sisters, and they've really struggled. And my oldest sister tried to take her life several times. And so after that, I was like, I have to paint my sister's shoes. I have to share with the world that they are not alone. And so then it just grew from there to like, to share other people's stories and to show that, yeah, we're not alone. We all go through things, and it's important to tell our stories. And so then it just became like a collection of stories for me.
Yeah.
Because of it.
And then how do you decide the background of the pieces too? Because I know you said something like that. You kind of tie in little Easter eggs that show their personality.
Yeah. So for the ones that have patterns on them, those are the people that I really, really know well. And that's, well, say that. But it really just depends on how I'm feeling with the shoes too. Or like a trait that I know about somebody that I feel like I should portray. So like Lizzie, for example, she loves sunflowers. She has sunflowers all over her house. She's just sunflower queen. And so I was like, I have to make the background with sunflowers. But then like with this one, Morgan, the eyes don't really, this was something that my sister drew over and over and over and over, were eyes all the time. And so when I think about her, that's kind of something I see, is all the eyes that she drew. And so I wanted to represent that in her piece, because I think that's some kind of like nice memory for me that I have of her.
And I thought it was cool that you included the flower in Emily's shoes.
Yeah, so she does a lot of abstract flowers. And so I wanted to represent that part of her, but also symbolize her two brothers, which is what the shoes and painting is really about, is her family and how much she loves them.
Yeah, and I still think that's why her parents bought that one.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great.
Well, I want to know more about your process. Well, do you guys have any questions you want to ask her?
Yeah, can you, I know you said a little bit about it in the beginning, but can you elaborate a little bit why you decided to do the shoes?
I think for me, it's because I'm very traditional. And so I found connection with my shoes. I've always had experience and stories from my past with shoes. And so it was just like a easy no-brainer. Shoes are just my thing, I guess. I don't.
But as a saying, you can tell a person by their shoes.
Yeah, there is a saying.
I was just wondering you know.
I love them, and I think that we can all like connect through them very easily. Even if you see like on commercials and stuff, usually there's just like a pile of shoes on the floor or something in like photographs or advertisements or something, because it's like you're getting on someone's level and you're connecting with them, because it's something we have with us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I can think back of my shoes and and think of like really great memories, just visualizing one pair of shoes. And so that's what I love about it.
You get the statement, walk a mile in my shoes.
Yeah.
You walk in somebody's shoes.
Yeah.
Or you never know till you walk.
Exactly, in their shoes.
Their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they're the perfect still life too, because you got them like lit differently or different angles.
Yeah, I really love the shadows and the lighting. That's probably my favorite part when painting them. They just bounce once you put those shadows in.
Or like I already told you this, but I like the details. Like on that orange one, you can see a little worn spot on the ankle,
Right.
or like little tears in the holes on some of them.
Yeah.
They're real. They're real.
Mm-hmm.
Like you should be able to pick them up off of there, put them down,
And put them on.
Really. The boot picture is just awesome. It would look gorgeous in some Western or hill or
Yeah.
a bar or Longhorns or
Yeah, definitely.
really.
That would look
it
really
be
cool.
Awesome picture.
I wonder how you can like get it in front of like a Longhorn steakhouse or
Really?
something.
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
would be
Or like an
yes.
Aspen's or something like that. One of the fancier steak restaurants.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to know about your process. And so I heard you work on multiple pieces at once, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how does this process influence the way your collection develops?
So typically I work on a piece until I get to a certain point where I feel like it needs to dry. So I work in layers, and so one layer, it's like, okay, I have to put this aside, but I still want something to do. So I'll pick up another painting and keep working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I'll have 5 paintings at one time going because one's drying and I don't have the patience to wait for it. And because oil also takes a long time to dry. So I'm not really sure. I really try to do a lot of research on each person to really get their story out. And sometimes it's easier and harder than others. But I always start with drawing out the boot or shoe on the canvas. And then I do the black edge around the painting in acrylic, just because it dries quicker and I can start working on it and not have to worry about putting it away.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do like a underpainting wash in an acrylic as well. Typically the colors I use is burnt sienna, or raw sienna, ultramarine blue, or sometimes I've been playing around with pink and gold too, like a fluorescent pink. I think that's been pretty fun.
And what does that do?
So that just lays the foundation so I can see my colors better.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I go over, so for example, this boot or these shoes behind you, Luke's, has a blue ultramarine layer underneath. And then on top of that, I can build my whites, my grays, my shadows, and create kind of like a see-through effect where the blue still pops through, and it creates more detail and
yeah, you can see it coming through like on that way.
yeah.
Depending on what undertone you use, you get the different shine through. Because
Yeah.
oil, if doesn't lock completely. It always has a little. It's like a fabric, basically,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So you can see,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can get the different effects. How you want to have it shine,
Mm-hmm.
with which complementary or opposite.
So it's a lot of color theory.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Where did you learn the technique to do this?
I learned that in school. I went to Lee University and I got a bachelor's in charcoal drawing. And I took an oil painting class while I was there and I fell in love with it. Wanted it to be my emphasis, but that just didn't work out because of class schedule. So charcoal drawing ended up being, but I just, after that, just never stopped painting in oil. And I actually have this like master's painting book, and it talks about like how the masters did all the layers and the underpaintings and things like that. And my professor, her name was Professor Dickerson, taught me all of that. And so she was an amazing artist, still is. But I learned everything from her originally.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And what are your plans moving forward? Do you see yourself continuing to use oil? And do you have like any idea? Do you want to continue to paint shoes or?
Yes, I do. I would really love to continue painting shoes. That's kind of the plan for the next 6 months.
Okay.
I have some other ideas for paintings too that kind of go away from the shoes, but they're still life pieces because I just love still lifes. I don't know what it is. Just the things that we have can be cherished so much and can become a part of us so much. And they're insignificant, but in the end, they mean the world. Like I can't seem to get rid of certain things because they mean so much to me or something.
Mm-hmm.
Doing what you do never really work.
Right. It's a love.
It's love and inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
You continue to do that.
Right.
But you never feel like you're working.
Right.
How do you feel from like the first one you did in this series? I know you kind of worked simultaneously.
Yeah.
But like from the first one to the last one, what are like the main changes that you feel? Do you feel like you've improved technically? Do you think you want to, I know you mentioned maybe go more realistic.
Right.
Some people want to do like more painterly, you know, like what are your thoughts?
That is the hard part. I do like to see a lot more texture. I'm falling in love with texture more. I've always had like a very smooth canvas, but that's also just working very thin layers. And so I am trying to do more texture. I have this really cool tool, and it's how I sign all of my paintings. It's called the Wipeout tool from Trickel. And oh my gosh, I love this tool. And so a lot of them, like robins, that's how I did the background. I actually just like added layers and then I would wipe it out with that tool and sign my name in all of them, which I don't want my name to be the focal point. So I just do my initials very softly. Sometimes you have to find it, but yeah, so I would like to get into more texture, I think, with my work.
Like that
so yeah, more like that. And to add, like, especially if I have a very wrinkly pair of boots, it can be hard and it can take a really long time to try to get every wrinkle in there. So having that texture on the background as the base and then putting the paint on top of that could really like show some cool detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I showed you to his workshop. He does animals with texture and oil.
Yeah. Amazing.
I'm going to share his stuff to you.
Okay.
I take his workshop to do it with flowers because it's the same with the wrinkles.
Yes.
It takes forever to build it up.
Yeah.
So if you can do it with the texture,
then it's easier because then you just have to quickly paint over it after it dries and you're good to
you
go.
Just do it with the color and it's done. Like, yeah.
And then I'm going to learn from you guys.
Sounds great.
This kind of might be walking in. But I was curious. So I know you said.
They're looking through the window, but
I know you said that like you drew some of them digitally first and then projected. Is that like what you did for most of them?
the bigger ones, yeah.
Bigger ones?
For sure.
I was wondering if there was like something you could, because you probably have a bunch of those digital drawings. You could
Yeah.
turn those into prints too.
Yes, I could. And
Now I'm
I've
just
thought
brainstorming.
about that. I've thought about that. Or I've thought about just doing like charcoal drawings of them, like small original pieces. But I just haven't done it. And I need
What I
to.
tried to do quick stuff besides the oil.
Mhm.
Is soft pastel.
Yes.
And you use the brush, like the sponge brushes.
Oh yeah, soft pastels. I did soft pastels in Emily's actually, because she kind of incorporates and her stuff has soft pastels. Mine doesn't, but that was the first time I had done it, and I'm like, I want to do that again.
Look at that. And they're soft looking.
Yes,
Mhm.
she's a very soft
Person.
though. Yeah, I think.
Oh, that's interesting. So you kind of like implement that into their personality too?
Yeah, definitely. So getting to know somebody is really important in the process, because someone that's like either quiet or soft or just like gentle, you wouldn't want to put a loud color or
Mhm.
something like that. So those are things that I consider. And I always ask everybody what their favorite color is. So that comes into play
Okay.
as well. Because I want it. So what if they wanted to buy the painting? I want it to go with their home or whatever, if they're interested in that. Otherwise, that's okay. But if they don't, but it plays into more of their personality and what they like.
Yeah. Do you have like, well, I guess you kind of mentioned this, but do you have like a list of questions? Because you sat down and you wrote all of these descriptions.
Yes, I did.
You want to stop for
Like, just like everything that you thought of, or when you were writing the descriptions, I guess you would just reach back out to them if you had a question,
Yes.
or you like had that memory of whenever you.
So originally I went about this like not knowing what to ask. So it took me a really long time. So in the end, I ended up just texting everybody and just sending them a bunch of questions. Of course, I asked their permission. Do you mind? Like, you can say as much or as little as you want. And then I will rewrite it into more of a story. Instead of, here's the question, here's the answer, kind of thing. It more in a way to where people could connect. So I asked things like, what do these shoes mean to you? Do you have a memory that remind you of these shoes, or a moment in your life? What's your favorite color? Do you wear these shoes a lot? Things like that. There's a lot of questions, and I can't remember all of them because they are always in front of me when I ask them. But
is the writing process like as therapeutic as it is to paint too?
That's actually the hardest part for me, because I'm really not a writer, but I try my best to just be truthful and honest to what I've learned and experienced by doing all of it, and put their story into words that other people can connect with. So, or try. Yeah. It's very hard, actually. The painting is the easiest.
Yeah, I would not think that you're not a writer.
Yeah, I thought you were great.
My husband helps me. He was an English major. But yes, I'm always like, hey, babe, can you please help me with this? Can you look at this? And then he'll be like, oh, well, this needs to be, switched up or whatever. And I'm like, okay, thank you. My ADHD, I just kind of put it out on the paper, and then.
Yeah, that's good. Or you have someone to.
Yeah. So I can't take all the credit.
I mean, teamwork. You still put it together, though.
Yeah.
Just you painted his boots for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're a team. We do everything together, so we try.
Well, have you had any like interesting reactions from viewers from this collection? So I know the night of the show, it was awesome. It was packed in here, and the stories resonated with people.
Oh yeah. There was one lady I had not met before, And she walked up to me and she was like, this painting is me. And that was awesome. She was like, I connected with this and I just see myself in these shoes. And so
That was this one, right?
actually, that was another one. So there was another lady that I had never met before, and she also connected with those.
Yeah.
So it was just like really interesting to see the different shoes that people connected with. And you wouldn't have thought that was the shoe they would have picked or whatever. Not saying that I like knew exactly what shoes people would go with, but just surprising.
Yeah, you get an idea in your mind. And
Yeah.
it's really cool. And do you ever get like a lot of strangers buy a particular shoe because like they have that shoe at home?
Yeah. That was something when I had my Doc Martens, that piece that sold, it was called Olivia. The guy that bought it wanted it for his pool room. And he was like, I just connect with these shoes so well. I had a pair of these one time. They weren't this color, but I just love this color. And I was like, okay, cool. And he actually was visiting from Europe. So that was really cool. So my painting actually is not in the United States anymore.
Right?
But yeah, international. Yeah.
I know you signed the painting initially.
Yes. On the
Do you
front.
give any other information about you? Backside or whatever?
Yeah, so I sign my name, then I'll put like the size, the date, or the name of the painting itself. And then someone that buys an original will get some kind of like certificate saying this is original, this came from me, this is not a copy, things like that. So yeah.
And do you ever take commissions?
I do. I take commissions and I'm open for commissions right now. I have a couple of spots open right now. So
All right. You heard that?
Yes.
I know you're doing places.
Yes, I am.
Which would be an awesome keepsake.
I'm also doing some military boots.
Oh, yes.
So that is going to be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what else I get and get to meet more people. And I'm going to do yours and anybody's.
Well, I think if like you paint the wedding shoes, other people will get that in mind too.
Yeah.
That's just such a cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Dance shoes, people that are in dance.
Baby shoes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a kid or a baby, people would bronze shoes, the baby shoes. And that was something, a keepsake they would try to put out. But now I don't know if that is as common. I don't see that as much. So I try to offer people, hey, you're having a baby. This is their first pair of shoes. I can paint them. And then you'll always have them. They won't just be in a bin up in your attic. You'll always have them out. You'll always get to see your first baby's pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And that's special. So
It's special. Well, if you could display this collection anywhere, where would it be? And this is more of just kind of like brainstorming because I know you said that would be cool to see me in like a Longhorn or a steakhouse.
Yeah, or a steakhouse or some kind of restaurant. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I've just been so honored to be here. And I'd love to go anywhere. I'd love to be out of state. I'd love to go international. Just wherever the world takes me, I would really just love the opportunity to keep going.
Get more eyes on it.
Yeah, get more eyes and meet more people.
Now, just a few more questions, but do you see the collection as a tribute to your mother and grandfather, or has it evolved into something broader? No, that's it.
I think it has become something broader because it's not just about them. It's about a lot of people. But I think you can focus on certain people easily within the collection. So like, I really wanted to focus on mental health within the people that I talked about, like my sister and her daughter, Caroline. but also just showing different walks of life and different feelings, not just trauma, but like family and adventure and yeah, there's just so many things that you could do.
Like
Yeah.
adventure, people who go hiking.
Oh yeah, hiking boots.
Like miles and miles. Like there's people who go from one coast to the other coast, or doing all the continents, or like we talked about the homeless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doing a tribute to the homeless. Yeah.
How they get them, how they,
Right.
So many stories.
Yeah. It's really cool. I think
different countries have different shoes.
Yeah.
So you have to travel.
Like all of your paintings, you want to go to someone that loves
right.
what they got from you.
Right. Yes.
Like this here, if you wanted to go to Longhorns or someplace like that, it'd be great. If you got somebody that's got skinny shoes here, whatever, they love
Cows.
it, they have a connection with it. So, you know, you want everything to go to a place. Look at that and say,
yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I think that painting should go in a fancy boot store. I do too.
Yeah.
People,
A tack store or something.
Yeah.
A tack store. It's an equestrian, like.
No, they have like fancy ones. Fancy cowboys go to.
Yeah. Oh.
Like where you have like the changing rooms are like with nice
oh
big velvet
yeah.
curtains,
Ooh.
and it's like a man store.
That needs to go.
Fancy man store, but for cowboys and cowgirls.
That could go
would be
into also a law firm, Texas or
any kind of Western feel that you want to have. Yeah.
Who's museum?
Yeah.
That's Western art.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like Western art has also become really popular lately too. Yeah.
Definitely.
And I didn't paint that because of that. It was mainly because of my sister. Yeah, it does.
Look at it because you've got so much application that can, even though it has a personal connection with you, it has such an application.
I can see Morgan.
These are her boots.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and we actually shared them. I was going to wear these boots for an event that ended up being canceled, and so I was just like, here, you can have them. And so we've just like kind of passed them back and forth. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
So now that you're explored this theme, do you see yourself continuing with similar storytelling objects, or do you have ideas for your next body of work? And I know you said you kind of wanted to continue with shoes, but is there anything else that you wanted to explore?
So I would like to explore, even if it's not shoes, but still life pieces about the things people love. So to me, it may not mean anything, but like someone's pocket knife that's been passed down from generations to generations, to try to make a collection of pieces of just kind of insignificant things that are significant. And so that could be a tube of red lipstick, that could be a pocket knife, a watch, exploring other things other than shoes that mean things to people.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
One of the first things, that popped into my head is like a woman's like bathroom sink, like when they're getting ready and there's like hairspray everywhere.
Yeah.
Makeup.
That's what I was just wanted to ask. Is it just that you want to do, like, because you say still lifes, and a lot of still lifes have more objects than just one?
Just one, yeah.
Do you seeing yourself just doing the one object, but a lot of artists do too, or do you?
I would definitely incorporate more than one object. That was actually an assignment I had one time in college that I kind of looked back on. And it's actually through my art career has been something that I've done a lot, is pick 5 things that mean the most to you and that represent you and put them in a painting or put them in a drawing or composition in some way. And one of them I chose like a ring, a mirror, my riding boots. Can't even remember everything that was in it. A scarf, 4 things. So yeah, it's just something like that that really tells about someone in a way you would, in a more creative way, other than just a picture of them.
But what I mean more like, do you like to do the singular pieces or like the shoes in singular? You want it a pair, but or do you like it if it would be a whole still life scene?
That would be really cool, a whole still life scene. I haven't explored that, but I've been thinking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing the same thing with flowers.
Mhm.
I would not. I do a couple of flowers, but it's not. I like it more when it's singular. I do a couple of more, but I still like the singular.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested in.
For this collection, it seemed to be the route to go because I was talking about this specific person.
Yeah.
But like if I was exploring like a whole family and their shoes, or that would be really cool. Or even just like someone couldn't pick a pair of shoes and you wanted to stack them, kind of like I did with that piece down there.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah.
On the back.
Yeah. I've been trying to actually work on a new piece that has a bunch of stacked, like 5 pairs or something, just like all jumbled.
Uh-huh.
And
You just have to take the picture from my front door.
yeah. But like the natural way they would land or something, you know?
Just look at our closet.
Oh yeah. And see, this is like goes way back. My family, they love shoes.
Uh-huh.
We have like a history of shoes. I think one time y'all counted and you had 100 pair of shoes. More than that. More than 100 pair of shoes. Okay. So this goes way back. And my sister, I remember my mom was having us go through some of our stuff. And I was like, Morgan, why do you have all these shoes? Like, she's like, well, they remind me of people. I can't throw them away. I just can't. They mean so much to me. And I was like, I'm so dumbfounded by that. But we were kids. And of course, I didn't really think about it again. But I did now. But yeah, shoes mean a lot. It's crazy. You wouldn't think it would.
My mom did that too. She had like shoes from when I was a little child. She had a whole closet just shoes. When she passed away, how many boxes of shoes did we have? Like 10 or 15, 24 by 24 boxes of shoes.
Wow.
I think we counted. I forgot.
Wow.
And I still have 2 pairs of her shoes.
I mean,
because they were like, they fit me, and then
right, yeah, and they're special, and they're your mom's.
Special,
yeah.
And now I started to wear shoes too. But he actually has more than I do.
I honestly think every time I go to buy something new for myself, it's always shoes. I don't know what it is, but I just like, oh, I need a new pair of shoes.
Do you remember when you came to my house?
Yes.
We
We did. We went shopping together.
Yeah.
Hey, like I said, my husband has more shoes than I do.
Richard does too.
I mean, I know.
Same with my
Actually,
boyfriend.
that's been the surprising thing is men have really connected with these pieces more than even women.
Oh.
Yeah, and because I know men that have full rooms for just their shoes, and they have them in clear boxes, and like, it's just, it's surprising. I'm like, well, I figured it would be women, but no.
But I think also for men, where you get the most varieties are shoes.
Yeah.
When you go with clothes, it's very hard for males. Like women have so, and I think males now say, oh, we have something where we can collect and feel good with.
Express yourself.
Express, yeah.
Is through the shoes, because we go to the department stores, males don't have that much of variety of clothes. Well, it's getting a little more, but you always see 3/4 of the 3/4 of the store is for females.
Females.
And one is just for the males. So.
Yeah.
We have a friend, 1,000 pair.
Oh my God.
Just cowboy
Had a
boots.
room with 1,000 pair cowboy boots.
Amazing.
Me too.
Can you imagine
I would
painting all
love,
that? It's like
yeah.
a
If they
library.
were sitting up on a
Paint
shelf
the room.
and they were all, oh, that would be a great painting of just like a ton of them. I think about going into like a boot store and just like taking pictures, but then I'm like, well, where's the meaning behind it?
Put it
So,
out there and say who has a whole
Yeah.
row of. There's more people like that.
True.
Oh, not cowboy boots, but
yeah, of just anything, of whatever they have. For me, it's Vans. I'm a Vans girl, and everybody has their shoe that they really love. My husband's Doc Martens.
And you said you mainly get commissions from men, right? The army boots?
I got
Is what?
some lately it has been more interest in men. If I'm like at a festival or something like that, mainly men,
that would be...
which is interesting to me.
Okay, so what advice would you give to emerging artists about finding deeply personal inspiration for their work, or just advice in general?
I'd say keep going, keep trying. It can take a long time, but it is definitely worth it, and you will get somewhere if you keep going. Write about yourself. I'm not a writer, and I did it. And just writing over and over, you find things out about yourself that you never even thought of, and then you all of a sudden you have a whole collection of pieces you never thought you would do, and it's just changed your world. And just think, I know it's not as what am I trying to say? It can still be about you and still also be about other people and hold some great meaning. Just like my history with shoes and connecting people in their shoes.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
And then as we're wrapping up, do you have anything else that we didn't cover that you want to say about this series, or you just want people to know in general?
Oh no. I don't know.
I mean, we pretty much covered it all. We got it all out.
I actually have another question.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
So we said you like it was mentioned that when you do something you like that it's not work, but doing a whole collection, was it fun to do it, or did you have struggles doing the collection?
There was sometimes I did have struggles. Like, for instance, Emily's painting. I really struggled with that one. And it wasn't that I didn't know her. It's just, I think I was exploring and experimenting a little bit, which made it harder. But also I did want it to represent her as much as possible. So that one was a lot of layers and wiping away, and then adding and then wiping away. And
It is exceptional.
thanks. So yeah.
And go ahead, sorry.
And I also just like want to tell someone's story correctly. I don't want there to be wrong information, and I don't feel like I have steered wrong. I really tried to do my research right. I would hope somebody would tell me, but like I think I represented everybody pretty well.
Did you get any feedback, good or bad, from the people you did?
I have not gotten any bad feedback. It's all been good. So yeah, that's a good sign.
How could you get
Well, I mean, if you not like that it's bad, but something like that maybe. I don't know, because as an artist, so I'm talking to me now. When I do something for someone else, or I represent someone else.
Yeah.
I doubt myself that I got it right. And
right.
then I questioning it.
I definitely have done that.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
And then it's nice if you get feedback. If there would be, I don't know, if it's not that it's like about work or anything, but maybe it's like, oh, maybe you could have done this maybe in that direction. It's sometimes not bad, but it pushes you further.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but like just feedback was really good. Oh, so I was just wondering.
Yeah, it's always interesting, the like interactions. So
Yeah. Yeah.
And how cool is that you said that was one of the ones you struggled with and that was your most expensive one that sold?
Yeah, which was crazy. But I really did work hard on it. Not that I didn't work hard on all the others, but that one really stumped me. I knew that it was special. And I didn't want to take that lightly. So. Yeah, for sure. I always work really hard. Put my all in it.
How do you know when you're done with it?
I normally just get a feeling like, okay, that looks awesome, or I really love this and I don't think I should do anything else. It's just like a feeling I get. Yeah.
Pupper snoring. You guys have any other questions?
No, I just want to clap. I'm so proud of
Oh,
you.
thank
And just keep it up and don't look back. Keep going.
I will. I will, definitely. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And congratulations to her for selling 9 paintings? 10.
Oh, I sold 10?
10, right?
I thought it was
9 or
8.
10?
But
No.
it was 8.
Oh, 8, and then there's 2 prints. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. Okay,
But
cool.
still, that's amazing.
Yes, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
And we still have time.
But the
Yes.
rest is still online.
Yeah,
so
we're still
get it before, we cannot afford it anymore.
The cow picture online too.
On my website. Yeah. On my
The campground. Beautiful. So proud of her.
Thank you.
Great job.
We love our cow.
All right, I feel like I should wrap. I never know how to end these. Thank you.